Across red states in the US, Republicans are fighting to pass all sorts of anti-LGBTQ legislation. And the log cabin Republicans, who are notorious for being part of that community, who end up supporting the right wing, don't really know what to do. The organization has actually provided some cover for Florida's so-called Don't Say Gay bill. But now they're noticing all these other bills and they're like, ooh, it turns out the party really hates us and we don't know what to do because we really like these tax cuts. So let me give you the details. Charles Moran, he's the president of the Log Cabin Republicans. He recently spoke to the Washington Post about this wave of discriminatory legislation. And he said every one of these bills are different in each state. And some of them are truly dangerous. Some of them are actually bad. Some of them we are going to come out and oppose. He also says, quote, I was not prepared to do this year. I'm having to rapidly build a legislative analysis team to really go through and identify the states that have these bills. It's tough, right? It's tough when you support a party that doesn't believe in your right to exist because of your sexual identity. Sucks. Okay. But those tax cuts, am I right? Those tax cuts.
So I have a theory on why they're beginning to flip, and it has nothing to do with policy. Look, guys like Charles Moran are paid to be Uncle Toms. That's in the LGBTQ context. If you're saying, oh, you can't say that, Cenk, because you're not part of the LGBTQ community, so you can't accuse him of that. You're wrong, I can, and I just did it, okay? He's paid to sell out his own.
Yep.
And so he's a despicable human being who didn't mind everyone else being discriminated against. And I'm sure he thought, no, the Republicans will be good to me when I'm the last one. I'll be the good one, okay? But now all of a sudden, he's like, oh, golly gee, I just discovered there's gambling in this establishment. Yeah. Oh, okay, you guys are anti-gay? Oh, I never knew that as I was stuffing the money into my pockets while selling all of you out.
They've been, I mean, look, the right wing in America has been defaming gay couples as pedophiles for as long as I can remember. You know, I mean, what was the line of attack, especially like in 2008 when California was trying to legalize same-sex marriage and the anti-same-sex marriage campaign came out with their disgusting defamatory campaign? What did they say? Oh, well, if we legalize same-sex marriage, what's next? Are we gonna be having sex with animals? Is that what we're gonna do? That's what they would do. That's who the right wing is. And I don't believe for a second that Moran is like such a moron that he was oblivious to all of that. But you know, there are some members of the gay community who identify more closely with the right wing because they like all the financial benefits that might come with that. Because they thought that the right wing had moved away from hating on gay couples and was just focusing on the trans community.
Yes, that's right. They're like, oh, we'll just throw them under the bus. Who cares? It used to be us, but now it's them. Instead of identifying with them and they're part of the LGBTQ community, we'll just sell them out for tax cuts, right?
Yep.
Peter Thiel, Dave Rubin, I can go on and on. But so here comes, by the way, Dave Rubin, all those people who you backed, all of a sudden now criticizing you when you're going to do adoptions. And oh, golly gee, I found out.
Not adoptions, he's gonna have 2 children through a surrogate.
Through a surrogate, okay. And look, I'm in favor of that. How about your right-wing buddies? They won't bake you cakes. Now they're attacking your family. But oh, the money, Dave, right? And Charles Moran. So my theory is a very rich gay Republican was like, this is getting a little close to home, okay? I don't know who it is, but then sent a note and a check to Charles Moran and said, hey, Moran, I'm not paying you to turn around, okay? So yeah, tax cuts, give me the money, okay? But I'm now worried that these guys are gonna come for me. So that's my theory on why Moran turned around.
You know, and Moran likes to defend Florida's Don't Say Gay bill because he's like, no, we worked really hard and we did away with the provisions in that legislation that we didn't like. So it's actually totally fine. It's totally a parents' rights issue. It's not about being anti-gay. But Francesca Fiorentini made a point on Old School last night that I loved, and it helped to crystallize what the problem with that legislation is, or now that law is. Because remember, they keep arguing that it only applies to students up to the 3rd grade. But think about the kind of assignments you do in that age group when you're in school. In fact, Francesca explains in this next clip. Let's watch.
Parental rights. I mean, it is crazy anyway that effectively, I mean, the law makes no sense, obviously, because we all know under 3rd grade, like, who's talking about sex? These are especially these are states where they also, like, their equivalent of, sex ed is like, then a stork comes and drops a little knapsack, and then Jesus rides in, and like, that's their version. And like the first time, I don't know, I had sex ed was like 5th grade. And then it was like nothing until 12th, and everyone was like, what the hell, what are we doing? We're all sexually active. Anyways, whatever, that's my experience. But like, it is, so in that case, we know they're not actually talking about sex with 3rd graders or younger. So what is it? It is actually just a bigoted bill to silence any discussion of other sexualities. And that literally includes, because when would they talk about it? When you're drawing your family, when you're at your little desk and you're drawing your crayons, and you say, this is mommy and this is daddy, this is daddy and this is daddy. Oh, no, sorry, we can't do that. You're not allowed to watch that happens. Watch when that happens. We're gonna do stories on that.
I thought that was an excellent point by Francesca, and it provided a specific example that I think everyone can relate to, because I remember drawing the pictures of my family. But what is a Florida teacher supposed to do if one student draws a picture of their family and they happen to have 2 moms or 2 dads, and then other students start asking about it, or other students start bullying that student for having 2 parents of the same sex? Yeah. Can the teacher intervene and protect the student that's being bullied? Can the teacher intervene and educate the kids about?
No, he can't.
No,
that's right.
No.
So we talked more about it in that episode, and I said, look, if the teacher doesn't like get rid of the picture, or if he talks about the picture at all, he might be fired. So by the way, you can watch the whole episode if you're a member, tyt.com/join to become a member. If you're on YouTube, you could hit the join button below, because we had a whole conversation about it. But I wanna make 2 more quick points here. One is, if you're Dave Rubin or you're Charles Moran and you've got kids, and by the way, Dave now lives in Florida, you have to teach your kids when they go to school, you must deny me. You have to deny my existence.
Don't bring me up.
Right, don't tell anyone that your parents are who they are, because we're hated in this state. And it can get your teachers fired, and it can cause a lot of ramifications. Remember, your parents are so unacceptable, you shouldn't even utter our existence in school. And you're still in that party? You're disgusting. Now to the rest of the right wingers, you celebrate this bill. It says, now I know it's not the technical name of the bill, but it is what you all colloquially call it. Don't say gay. And then you claim you're in favor of freedom of speech. The bill that you are most in favor of literally blocks people from speaking
about their lived experience and who they are as people. Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.